Welcome to the North of Mouth podcast.
Yeah, this week I'd like to recognise Lewis's bravery for wearing George Michael's jacket on the podcast.
So this week, or last week, Phillip Schofield came out as gay.
Yeah, surprising absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
Straight, married and kids, apparently.
I always thought he was gay.
Yeah, I'd never even considered him not being.
Yeah.
To be honest.
What was funny about it when he actually came out on TV, because we had to have a big show about it.
Well, it's important for a wealthy daytime TV guy.
Yeah, in this day and age, it's incredibly important to tell somebody who you fancy, but, you know.
Yeah.
I swear he went camper.
Well, I didn't watch it because I don't watch daytime TV.
YouTube. But my thing with this is why, in this day and age, is it necessary for someone to come out? It's not like it's a taboo thing. It's not like we're living in the 1950s.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's very much accepted, and I've been brought up to never sort of question that. Do you know what I mean?
No, you don't. It's, you know,
but
some of our parents' generation, the one before, might... No, they won't give a toss. It doesn't affect anybody other than who is bumming or being bummed by.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody cares.
No.
Nobody cares. And it's a really bizarre thing to...
Make a huge point of it.
Yeah.
If you're raised in a family where it's unacceptable, it would be a big thing within your family to come out as you.
Yeah, but someone who's in like the public eye on that TV show, it's not... Nowadays, I just see doing that, and when you get like pop stars come out and say, like, you know, it comes out, it's go, mate, no one cares. It's 2020.
No. Yeah.
No one cares. The only reason I'd see you do that is because it seems to be a thing nowadays for people to go, you know, to get a bit of sympathy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't deserve sympathy because it's normal.
Yeah, it's not the huge taboo that it used to be. You don't have to keep it hidden anymore.
Exactly. But some people, I found it very... The moment that this happened, and you got a load of people coming out going, like, showing their support. And it seems to be nowadays that people will turn around... They need to be seen to be...
Supporting
it, yeah. So
otherwise, they're totally against it.
Yeah.
If they don't make a comment, they hate the gays.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll probably get accused of that because we're saying that, but...
Yeah, that's fine.
But the thing is, did you... Oh, you wouldn't have seen it, but there was a panel just before the Oscars where they had Piers Morgan and a few other people.
Lewis has been watching Piers Morgan again.
There's a panel of people and they were talking about something, and Joan Collins was on there. Do you know Joan Collins?
Yes, vaguely.
You'll know if you saw her. She came up, she was on there and she went... Everyone knew he was gay.
Yeah, there's been a few people that have said that.
She came out and said that, and she was almost cut down. And Kelly Osbourne, as if she's a thing, pipes up and says, she just goes, "Can I just say, I loved Pete Schofield when he was straight. I loved him when he's gay. I accept it." I thought, oh, that's good. She's turning around and going, "Just to let you know, everyone, I approve. Do I get my acceptance points now?" Like, that's such a bizarre thing to do. That it
is mental.
Like, it is essentially. We said this before. Like, when we discussed this, like, it's sexuality. I think is a spectrum, and there's people that are one end that would just fancy one type. There's another would fancy their own, and then it sort of goes like that. Do you know what I mean? You can get people that are bisexual, which would be in the middle, and then you get people that would say. Fancy women but can appreciate when a bloke looks well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
But to turn round, how can you just turn round? Like, if he's been married and he's got kids, that means he's been attracted to and slept with his wife.
Yeah.
So you can't just turn round and go like, how is that a thing where you just turn around and go, oh, actually, no, I'm going to make a decision, I'm gay now.
Yeah, for the past 28 years, I've been wrong. I've made a mistake somewhere along the line.
There's nothing wrong to turn. I think it was discussed beforehand about is there some dirt on him that's coming out.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
And
is there something sort of? We're making accusations.
No, but I think there was talk that he was he'd had this
preempting somebody's blackmail.
Yeah,
attempt.
there was a apparently, allegedly. You always got to put on allegedly.
Yeah.
That there are people. There was some bloke that he was knocking off on this morning, like not a runner but a researcher or somebody.
All right.
Who's gone to work on loose women, and was going to come out and say that. And the thing
loose
is,
women.
No.
Oh,
just like he was going to sort of like. But I think Peter Schofield wanted to get there first because when you think about it, it's quite clever. Because if someone came out, the idea being that he's not told anyone that he is gay, right?
Apart
or thinks
from
that way.
All the men, his wife, family,
but
everybody that knew he was gay.
But the thing is,
blatantly, obviously, gay.
If he say that this person comes out, says, "Yeah, I've been sleeping with him for such and such time," people will immediately go on him and go, "You've been cheating on your wife," regardless of who it is. They'll go, "You've been cheating on your wife." But if he beats them to it and starts crying on national TV and going,
yes,
"My wife supports me, even though I've been cheating on her, and everyone's been so lovely, and I'm gay, and blah blah. So give me sympathy, and it's not that I've been sort of cheating on my wife or anything." I mean, I feel sorry for his fucking wife, to be honest, because like, can you imagine if you're with somebody and they just turn around one day and just go, "Actually, don't fancy you.
Yeah,
I fancy something else completely."
Yeah.
How's that going to make you feel?
Yeah, you'd be pretty wounded about it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, don't turn around to me and start telling me like, "Yes, my wife has been very supportive and my kids, everyone's been so supportive."
Yeah, his wife's writing up a huge divorce settlement is what she's eyeing
as she should.
Yeah, rightly so.
It's such a bizarre thing.
It is. What's aggravated me more is the use of the word brave in the news, because brave used to mean going to war, risking your life, a limb for your beliefs, political or anything else. First astronauts going into space. World War II, storming the trenches, all that sort of shit. Now it's used to describe a rich white man telling you that he's gay.
In this day and age, how the fuck is that brave?
I don't know. Some other words. I flicked through a couple of news stories. Courageous, amazing, wonderful, and powerful. Powerful. It was powerful when he came out on live telly. I think it might have been a slow news day, and that's why they give him the time to do it.
I know what you mean. It just seems a bit. It annoys me because like they dedicated a whole thing to it, and there was people on his Instagram page that he hadn't put anything. He put like an Instagram story up. That's how he was coming out. And my thing is, why is that anyone's business?
It's not.
Why is it that people feel essential and necessary, regardless they're in the public eye, to turn around and go like, "I'm whatever"? Like, it's no one's business unless you want that attention. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's not like if he turned around and came on live TV and said like, "Oh, I've been diagnosed with cancer" or something. Do you know what I mean? Like that again, that's no one's business, but that would be like, "Oh shit." So
yeah, I sort of get that.
But to come out and say like, "Who you fancy?"
Maybe it's just a more efficient way of meeting gay men than Grindr, for example.
Do you think Pete Schofield's on Grindr?
Phillip Schofield. No, he doesn't need to be. You've said Pete Schofield about 4 times.
Pete Schofield. That's fine.
Is he not a musician?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's just so that he doesn't have to go through the old rigmarole of Tinder or Grindr or whatever. Now it's known that he's gay, it's known that he's up for it. People will approach him. I don't know how it works.
Well,
it could be. Who knows? It's now we don't have to bother.
Did you get rid of Grindr on yours or?
Yeah, I deleted that one.
Getting any swipes? just Phillip Schofield. Would you like to meet up? Yeah. Apparently, he did have a London sort of pad that he sort of like shag pad that he knocked around with people.
Yeah, shag pad.
But then again, that isn't like, why are we even talking about that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what's that got to do with anything? That's
because.
That's nice for his wife, I suppose. He's not doing it in his marital bed.
Oh yeah,
with his kids in the next room.
What have you been up to tonight? Just working late.
Yeah, working late in my little apartment in London.
Yeah.
in Soho.
It was so weird. I mean, you didn't see it, but
No.
he was sat there, and he was on the opposite sofa to Holly Willoughby, and she's there going, "Yes, come on, say it. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I'm so like really. He's been cheating on his wife.
She'll have known for a long time. I feel like
Everyone know.
Yeah.
I think I'd searched. I just assumed he was.
I'd never given it a thought, but he's so camp. I just probably would have assumed that he were.
Yeah.
The fact that
Brave.
it don't matter.
No, it
like
doesn't
we've
matter.
said, it doesn't matter. It's not brave. It's just it must have been a sore news day.
And he cheated on his wife.
Yeah, and now we don't have to bother with Grindr. This week on Corona Watch.
Go on.
9 cases in London. A man got an Uber to A&E, which is apparently important. If you're ill enough to go to A&E, probably get an ambulance.
No. Get in someone's car where you can spread it more.
Yeah, that's a better thing.
So as of today,
we are up to around 59,000 infections, which is a huge jump from yesterday, which was somewhere like low 30s,
right.
20, and 1.3 thousand deaths. Now, this does sound like a lot. However, they've broadened the definition of coronavirus, meaning, well, everything's coronavirus, I think.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
And also, they've been diagnosing people before they get the results of the tests. So they'll go into the doctors will do the test. Before that comes back in however many days, they go, oh, you've got a fever. Oh, you're coughing, sneezing. Yeah, you've got coronavirus.
Do you know
so
what?
in a day, there's been, I think, about 24,000 new cases of coronavirus.
Which they've now renamed...
COVID-19, something like that. Yeah.
Everyone's still going to call it coronavirus.
Yeah. Like I said, it does sound like a lot, 1.3 thousand.
However, they are the cases and the death rate. I think definitely the death rate is slowing down. There is a certain point where it's been progressively slowing down.
Yeah. Well,
however, the news doesn't want it to end.
It doesn't. No, it keeps dragging it out. As will we.
As will we. Yeah.
Keep you updated regularly.
Just in case you haven't already heard it from every news source in the world.
Yeah.
I did the new thing they've been clutching onto is the. Have you heard about the super spreader?
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that term.
This is sickening, absolutely sickening. Now, to be fair, if he had gone from where he was, I think he went from China to a skiing resort in France or something,
right?
And infected a couple of people there, and then came over back home to English businessman and went. I think it was in Brighton or something.
Yeah,
somewhere far down south, and infected some people there. Now, the newspapers and the TV went out of their way to find who it was, put his name.
Oh yeah, his name, pictures of him. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but there'll be more than him in the world.
Yeah, have you not seen the videos of the Chinese people spitting on doorknobs and running around coughing on people and just crazy shit like that?
Yeah.
Like, these are the people that should be named and shamed.
But for some reason, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was absolutely sickening. If I was him, I would be absolutely raping
I'd be suing.
them.
Yeah. Oh, there'd be so many lawsuits
suing
going.
them because, I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, it probably shouldn't have gone like all about and everywhere. But I suppose you naturally think that you've not got it. But
yeah, of course you do. You just tough it out. I mean, you have a week off work every time you get a blocked nose.
I do.
But just carry on.
Do you know what's funny though? They did say they had him in hospital. He's fully recovered now, but they had him in hospital.
Because he probably didn't even have coronavirus.
No, he did. He did. But it had been confirmed. But it was brilliant. Because we've got a better system over here, so we've not had anyone die from it, and people have recovered.
Quite as third worldy as the third world countries that have thousands upon thousands of cases.
It's China. It's mainly China. China's been all the deaths.
Yeah, every one of them.
All of them.
I think there might have been one in Malaysia or something like that.
All right, I thought it was all in there. But he came anyway. This bloke, he's recovered now, but apparently while he was in there, he's obviously in there because he's got this thing, and they're taking it seriously because people have died and blah blah blah. But apparently his relatives had spoken to the news and they'd gone, he's in hospital, but he doesn't seem that unwell, just a bit like a cold. It's like, because it is.
That's all it is. I got the numbers. Yeah. 59,000, 1,000, 1.3 deaths.
Uh-huh.
which works out at just under 2%.
Under 2%. Now.
Under 2%.
So it's going.
Death rate.
So the death rate's going down.
Yeah. For SARS,
Uh-huh.
there were 8,000 cases. This were in 2003. This was the last big one. 800 deaths for 8,000 cases, which is 10%. 5 times as deadly. People weren't this panicked about that. MERS. Did you ever hear about MERS?
See, MERS is supposed to be what we really should be talking about.
Yeah. MERS were a thing between SARS and now, which never really got in the news because only 2,500 people got it, but 800 people died from that, which is a 34% death rate. And nobody knows about it. But they're worried about this coronavirus that has a less than 2%.
Yeah, but it's news, isn't it? Haven't they been saying, though, that the Chinese government have been
locking people up and isolating them?
holding this information back to the world, because that was apparently that the doctor that said back in September or November, whatever it was, said it looks like something's developing.
Yeah.
We need to do something about it. He was silenced. He's dead now.
Oh, I did see something about that, but you don't know how much to believe.
No, he's dead.
Shit.
And he did
From coronavirus.
From coronavirus, yeah. Because he was treating people apparently, but he'd been saying so. There's all this stuff worrying about what the Chinese government is letting out and what they're actually telling the World Health Organization.
I try not to worry about the Chinese government. We're probably blocked in China anyway.
I imagine we probably are.
The whole Hong Kong thing, which is still going on. Free Hong Kong and all that shit. Fuck China.
Is it still going on?
Oh, yeah.
Even with all this going on?
Oh, yeah. Hong Kong's not technically China. But, yeah, it is still going on. Still rioting every day. Yeah, they won't let it slow down because, like we've said, it's just a fucking cold.
Well, they just don't want it to end. The news doesn't want it to end.
It's been a slow week.
It is.
And the whole fuck-up that is Brexit and one of our next topics still needs to be hidden. The HS2 fiasco, which we'll get to. Brexit's still a shit show. They've just come out and said every import from the EU will have a 20% VAT on it, regardless of what it is, more or less.
So keep this coronavirus going.
Which was a lie that Boris Johnson said that never happened, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You haven't got your red T-shirt on today?
No, not this. No, my MAGA hat's on its way.
Yeah. I really hate the way it gets covered. And going onto Twitter, if you I know you don't use Twitter, but
I don't understand Twitter.
You go onto Twitter and there's just, if you type up coronavirus, you'll see so many random videos that have no basis in truth. You don't know what's going on.
No.
But it will be someone's trying to look knowledgeable and they'll just post this video. Though I saw one and it was body bags in a hospital in Wuhan.
Oh, and they were saying they were all from coronavirus.
Oh my God. These people they've got them in body bag. Yeah, well, they're dead. That's what happens. When you die, you get put in a body bag.
Yeah.
If you die in the hospital, that's what's going to happen. What do you expect?
Yeah, just leave you to rot in your bed. No, they get you out of the bed. They put somebody else in the bed.
Yeah. But it was
59,000 people got 59,000 people got coronavirus.
Yeah, and then there was all these pictures of like big trucks going down streets in China, like blasting disinfectant everywhere.
Yeah,
and people going, "What is this? What's going on? Why are they doing this?" Was like because they're trying to maybe disinfect.
Yeah, everything.
Although
it's probably footage from the riots because they've been spraying blue dye on people.
But again, you don't know.
You don't know. You can't tell. I did see a couple of Instagrammers and YouTubers that have been arrested. One of them, they were on some sort of underground train station with some sort of fluid in a box, and they spilt it and started shouting coronavirus. And people must have thought that it's a liquid and freaked out. So they got arrested and locked up. There was something similar where one of them jumped on the floor and started pretending to have a seizure, and again, somebody else started shouting corona, causing panic. They got arrested. But as we've said, and I will reiterate, it's nothing more than a cold. If you're not elderly, predisposed to some sort of autoimmune disorder, or a child, don't really worry about it.
Should be able to get over it, yeah.
We need a real plague, that's what I'm trying to say. Get MERS going. Let's get that going and fuck coronavirus off.
You've got a rant about UFC.
Yeah. UFC is pretty much the only sport that I've ever shown more than a passing interest in.
It's funny because you're clearly built for athletics.
Yeah, I'm definitely built for speed. Yeah. This weekend, John Bones Jones fought Dominic Reyes for the middleweight title, world title.
Is it middle? I think it was light heavyweight, isn't it? Or is it heavyweight? Oh, it's heavyweight.
185. It's not heavyweight.
Is it not?
No. It went the distance, 25 minutes, 5 rounds to a decision, which you've seen the fight.
I've seen the fight.
Who would you give it to?
100% Reyes.
Yeah, he absolutely annihilated him the first 2 and better part of the 3rd round.
Most of the 3rd.
Most of the 3rd and better part of the 4th. Mm-hmm. However, the scores went to John Jones. 2 of the judges gave him 3 rounds, and one of them gave him 4 somehow.
Yeah, well, I know that it was more the championship rounds. The 4th and 5th is when Jones did.
Yeah, he definitely won the 5th.
Yeah.
Hands down, I'll give him that. And there's an argument to be made for the 4th.
Yeah, well, he clearly had... you could see Reyes was getting knackered.
Oh, yeah, he was knackered by that point, but he never fought a 5-round match. Not for a long time, anyway. Yeah. But the first 2, and definitely the 3rd, he hands down won.
Yeah.
He had significant strikes landed. The first 3 rounds he had more by a significant amount. He did get took down a couple of times, but then he knocked John Jones on his ass twice in first round.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, that was...
John Jones, who's just won he's tied with George St. Pierre now for most title defences. Now he's won this one. The scoring system is a weird thing because nobody knows how it's scored.
Yeah.
You can't just Google how is UFC scored. Nobody knows what you get a point for. But they know it's based on some sort of boxing system that's been adapted for UFC.
I thought it was just sort of, I think it was, you definitely get points for like successful takedown attempts.
You do.
And likewise,
but what counts as a successful takedown? If they hit the deck and they're up in a second, is that still a takedown?
I think so, yeah. You still got them down.
Sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's counted, sometimes it's not. My point is, why don't they just announce who won the round at the end of the round?
Yeah. Maybe they might think... Well, I suppose you would get... If someone knew they were... Most of the time, someone knows if they're losing on points. That's why they might just come out heavy on the last.
If you look at that little announcement at the end of the fight when... They put the belt on him and they raised the hands and all that shit.
Everyone booed.
Everybody in the crowd booed. Everybody in the ring looked genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Even John Jones looked a bit surprised.
He even said at the end, I think he was almost a bit... But did you hear about that thing? The Joe Rogan and the other commentator, I can't remember who it was, had said they'd noticed in the middle of the fight, they went, that judge is looking at the floor.
Yeah. He weren't even watching the fight.
No.
And I think he was the one that gave 4 rounds to John Jones.
I think it was like something like... was it? I can't remember. It was quite a few points towards Jones.
Yeah, definitely was.
You do wonder if, considering that Conor McGregor's a bit of and we don't know whether there is a bias towards John Jones.
Characters.
Yeah, because John Jones is a big name in the UFC.
Yeah.
Unbeaten. Or like a decision loss, but that shouldn't... I think...
You're not going to beat by Cormier?
No, he beat Cormier twice.
It's like they fought 3 times.
No, twice. That's why people go on about a third fight.
Yeah.
But whether it's being like, we don't... Like, when Conor got beaten, it was a bit like, we can't...
Yeah, it's like this legend sort of died.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's fame... When she lost, it's like, she's invincible.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Khabib and Tony Ferguson fight that's coming up. That's been cancelled 4 times for various reasons. Some of them genuine, some of them potentially not so genuine. And Tony Ferguson's unbelievable. He had some losses early on. Not had a loss in a long time. 13 fights, I think. Khabib's on 28-0, and he is the big name at the minute.
Yeah,
and Tony's the one to beat him. Really,
yeah,
if anybody's going to beat him, it'll be Tony Ferguson, definitely.
We're going to stay out for that one.
Him to, we're watching that one.
Yeah.
Couple of weeks, Stylebender and Yoel Romero. which will be excellent.
Did you see their what's the name? Press conference. Is that coming? It says this weekend.
7th of March, so no, 2 or 3 weeks.
So what did I
They did a press conference last week
because they went to kind of do that thing and they both started dancing.
Yeah,
and then Romero just did a backflip.
Backflip, yeah, just because he can, which is mental for a guy his size.
He looks
like he's photoshopped. He looks like a superhero.
He does. He absolutely
like a comic book drawing of a superhero.
And that voice does not go with that body
no,
either.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
he did that gay Jesus thing, didn't he? And nobody couldn't say, "Hey, you're not gay Jesus!" in the middle of the ring. It was fantastic. That was brilliant.
Oh, he's brilliant. Yeah, no, that is going to be a good fight.
Yeah,
I'm
it
looking
is
forward to that
definitely. Zhang Weili and Joanna, unpronounceable names, fighting on that one as well. 2 women. That
Joanna
should be a good
Jacek.
one. It does not say Jacek. It's got D and then it's got a JCZYK.
Yeah.
In consecutive
Joanna
letters.
Jacek, yeah.
That does not say Jacek. But back to John Jones. Eye poking.
Was he doing it in this one?
He was told by the ref audibly 4 times throughout the fight to watch his fingers.
But he always does that.
Watch your fingers.
He's even come out and
times.
said that's part of his game plan.
And did I not send you the video of Dominic Reyes punching him in the hand?
No.
He had his hands out like this, and Dominic Reyes goes, "Fuck off!" and smashes his hand, like hammer fists his arm, because he's sick of him trying to. Because if you watch some of the slow-mo stuff, like between the rounds and the punches, he's blatantly trying to jab him in the eye.
But he does this all the time. And
Every
this is
fight,
what I'm saying. Every single fight, and he's been told about it over and over again. But he's come out and said that is part of his game.
Yeah, even now, even if he doesn't, people are scared of being poked in the eye. There's people that have had to have surgery after fighting him.
Yeah.
For detached retinas and stuff, which...
But how is he allowed to get away with that? Because if you watch him, I mean, he was getting battered in those rounds, but for that whole time, he was keeping it...
Yeah.
That's the way he fights.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be
especially
allowed.
when he had a 7.5-inch reach advantage. For the same height, 6'4", same weight, 185, 184, 185. But a 7.5-inch reach advantage is fucking huge. It was a good fight, but the result weren't what it should have been, I don't think.
No, not at all. I think someone's really got to either take him out, knock him out, tag him and knock him, get him, ground and pound to beat him.
Yeah,
because they're not gonna
give a decision to somebody else against him
unless they absolutely wipe the floor with him.
But the scoring needs to be reassessed. The judges aren't experts; they're not fighters.
No,
they're boxing judges.
Yeah,
it's
weird.
They need to get some ex-fighters. Cowboy's about to retire. Surely to God, hopefully he retires. He's fucked.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz keeps threatening to. Nick Diaz hasn't fought for years.
Cormier should really...
Bisping and Cormier, they both do commentary and things like that now on shows. Get them in as judges.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool, actually.
There'd be certain fights they couldn't do because of biases.
But they'll be able to see as well. I mean, Joe Rogan's so good at picking out. I mean, he's a commentator, obviously, but he's so good at being able to notice when somebody has got an issue.
Yeah.
When you don't even realise, you're like...
Yeah, like when... who was it? Colby Covington had his jaw broke. He called that as soon as it happened. Yeah. Like that broke his jaw. And then, at the end of the round, he sat there like, yeah, he broke my jaw. And his coach is going...
Let's go back out.
Yeah, we just need 3 more rounds. We just need 3 more rounds. And he just sat there and go, yeah, he's just broke my jaw. He's like, yeah, 3 more rounds. 3 more rounds, and sent him back out. Joe Rogan called it straight away before he'd even admitted. Somebody broke their hand not long back, and he said as soon as it happened, their hands broke. You
can see, because he wasn't using it. But
he's,
to us,
he does mixed martial arts. He's always done it. He's done it for years.
Exactly.
That's the sort of person he needs judging.
It's not the first time that judges have been called into question having no history of fighting or stuff
definitely
like that.
Not. They brought in as impartial, and I get that, but it needs assessing. It needs changing.
100%. So Boris Johnson has put the rubber stamp on HS2.
Yeah, HS2 Part 2. I think it was.
I think it's just
It's in phases, but this is the next bit of it anyway. HS2, for those that don't know, is a fast train.
Fast train, apparently, from
London to Birmingham, then extended to Manchester and Liverpool, and the idea is to go all the way up to Glasgow.
Yeah. Now, I'm all in favour for
Fast trains.
a fast train.
Yeah, because every other civilised country has.
Yeah. But bearing in mind that our train system
is shocking.
It's Victorian.
Shockingly bad.
Victorian.
Yeah.
And what they were saying is that I've always been in favour of this, happening. I didn't realise the phases that were put in. So the first phase is London to Birmingham. That is phase 1, and
which is nowhere near done.
It's not even started.
No.
The thing is, I hadn't even thought about, because I was thought, what's wrong with people? Like, you've got to move on. We've got to do this.
Yeah.
It really does benefit London.
Oh yeah.
Massively benefits London. Doesn't they're trying to sell it to us up north.
Oh yeah. Bring back power to the Northern Powerhouse.
Yeah,
and all that shit.
But I hadn't even thought that, considering when this first was proposed back in 2010, it was put out about £30 billion that it was going to cost overall, and that every single year has gone up.
Yeah,
and up.
They said 30, and then they upped it to 56, and that's what's in the budget. Mm-hmm. It's then gone, well, actually, it could be 65, best case, 88 billion with a B, worst case, and now somebody said 106 billion, if not higher.
Yeah, and the worry is, and I can see why people are getting upset, because you can see them doing the first section to Birmingham and then fucking off the rest.
Yeah, and that'll cost, more than the 56 billion, I would imagine.
And it needs to take up, because they were saying it has to go through like conservation areas and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's going beside the
existing
one, because they can't update the other ones, because that will cause chaos.
Yeah.
But this new system needs the size of a four-lane motorway of space.
That sounds better to me.
What do you mean?
Put a 4-lane motorway down. Another one. That sounds miles better. I hate public transport. I will not get a train anywhere. Also, to account for the £106 billion thing, they said there will be a minimum of a 20 to 33% increase on a HS2 ticket price.
Yeah, being sold that it was going to be okay, but no one believes that it's going to be cheaper.
It's no increase, so it'd be dearer.
That's what I mean. No, but they were selling it on the fact that.
Oh yeah, and then now they've come out and said no, and it said, "What, you go to London semi-regularly? How much do you pay for a train ticket down to London?"
It can be anything. I usually won't pay more than £40.
Which is about what I would pay if I had to get a train down to London. 60 quid at a push.
But sometimes you can get them. You can sometimes get them for 20 odd quid.
Yeah, these are saying it'd be 240 quid to Manchester to London any time, which is not a 20 to 33% increase.
No, and when you get to high speed too, you think, wow, this is going to be like next.
Oh, it'd be bullet train. It'd be 25 minutes to London.
It saves 18 minutes.
Yeah. I don't think that were Birmingham to London. I think Manchester to London, it saved an hour and something.
I don't think it's even that.
Is it not?
I'm pretty sure that
it was
London
the
to Manchester
between 225 mile an hour, which it then said in really small letters, which some east and west rail routes have. So nowhere really has 125 mile an hour trains. Mm-hmm. So HS2 will be 225 mile an hour.
Do you know, if it was the case that I could get from Manchester to London in half an hour, take my money. Yeah,
because 240 quid, it only costs 40 quid to fly from Manchester or Liverpool to London. You can fly for 40 quid, if not less.
Would you bother?
Yeah, if it were cheaper than the train. It's exactly the same. You're going to have to get to Manchester to the train station.
It's always a faff, though, to go on the plane. It's always a faff.
Yeah, have you been on a train?
No, but you think about it, like you have to say you want to go and fly down to London from Manchester.
Yeah.
You get there just as there's fuckloads of other flights that are going around at the same time. So you're queuing forever to get through security and fucking about going through like scanners and your bags and opening your bags, doing all this, going into the lounge, waiting for fucking yonks, sitting in waiting for it, getting on the plane, queuing up outside the plane because it's bound to be a shit low air one, because it's going to be, and you're going to stood outside, go, why are we stood queuing to get onto the plane? We're not moving. Surely we should be moving. And you get on there, and then you're barely up in the air before you come back down at the end, and then you have to go through customary things on the other side, and then So
considering that against youths drinking cans sat next to you.
Go on first class, you don't get youths.
Yes, but first class is also going to cost more than your 40 quid. Obviously not much. I've done the first class.
If you go on the week, well,
definitely worth,
I don't know,
definitely worth that 10 quid extra.
On first class?
Oh yeah,
100%. 100%.
But back to the original point. Why does every other civilised country already have these bullet trains and these fast trains? And us, like the third most developed country.
We like Victorian trains.
No, nobody likes Victorian trains. That's the issue.
Do you think it's going to be mega expensive on... Is that 240? Do you think that 240 is standard?
Well, that was standard single way. That's not a return. Which, I don't know, because they were advertising it as a quick way to get to London, sort of saying, oh, you could commute to London from these faraway places. It's totally reasonable for, $2,500 a week. It costs you to get a train to London.
Yeah. To be fair, it's mega expensive now.
It is.
If you were to get a year's, like an annual ticket from Manchester to London, I'm pretty sure it's like thousands and thousands.
Yeah. Also, why would you want to go to London? It's a shithole. Also, why do you want to go to Manchester? It's a shithole.
London's better than Manchester.
I'm not getting into that argument. Like you were saying, it's not started yet.
No.
It was announced in 2009, 11 years ago. Then they said, well, if we start it, it'll be ready in 2026. And then they said, well, might be 2029, 2033, 2036. You know what?
If they do
if we start now in 2020, it won't be finished in the 6 years, like they said. It'll be 2040, another 20 years.
Yeah.
They're on about putting a rail link into Scotland, which, from what I understand, don't want to be part of the UK anymore.
We'll build it for them, and then
we'll build it and then build a wall across.
What we'll do is we'll say we'll build that for you, and then they'll separate from us, and we'll still be contractually obliged.
Yeah, we'll still have to build that
to
benefit nobody but London and Glasgow. Who's going to Glasgow from London? Let's be serious. Glasgow's a bigger shithole than London is. Isn't it? It's fucking terrible. The cost per mile for this. The entire thing, 345 miles. Do you know what that works out at?
Go on.
300 and some £1 million a mile to build this.
Fucking hell.
I guarantee it didn't cost the Victorians that to put the current network down. I guarantee it won't cost that much to put a fucking 4-lane motorway down.
Did you know when they built the railways?
Yes.
When they used to dig them out and like dig out tunnels and everything, they used to say that a mile of track claimed a life.
That's worth it. They're all Irish navvies, weren't they?
They were surviving on a beer and meat.
Yeah, that sounds like my diet.
Best get going digging out HS2 then.
Nah, build a motorway. Miles better. Yeah, build a motorway. Put megabuses on it. £1.20 to London on the megabus. So, for What Is This Shit this week, I've picked a song that I don't really like. Purely for the nostalgia value, because it's from the Pussycat Dolls, who are apparently still a thing. It's their new song called React.
Yeah.
We just watched the video for it.
Yeah. The thing is with them, it always just seemed the Pussycat Dolls were Nicole Scherzinger and a couple of prostitutes.
Yes, 4 in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all that's you never heard them sing really. It was always just Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah, that's all you can hear in this one as well.
Yeah, but again, it's just her, mainly her, and then the rest of them are dancing in the background.
Dancers, basically. Yeah. They're all getting on a bit.
Yeah.
They must be late 30s, mid 40s. Some of them, I'd say.
Unless they were just disgustingly young when they first did their first
Which
stint.
is potentially.
Yeah.
But they've aged well.
But they've aged very well.
Yeah, very well.
Some of them have had kids.
Yeah, and they still look pretty decent.
Yeah.
But most... I don't really have girl groups anymore, do they?
No.
They run for the money.
Little Mix, because they're wonderful.
Are they? Yeah, the song was about a bloke wanting a bloke to be a dick to him.
Yeah, she says misogynist a few times. She said not misogynist.
Masochist.
Masochist.
Yeah, she wants to be in an abusive relationship. Just in different words. Is all the lyrics were about. There were a lot of leather, flashing lights, and water in the video.
And arseholes.
Yeah, they did. They did that weird upside down arsehole flash.
Basically,
move
anyone
about
anyone that's familiar with yoga would they just basically go into a downward dog,
and then
all of a
spin
sudden.
one of the legs up and over.
Yeah.
Which was just bizarre because, like I said, they are getting on a bit. They've had kids.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't name another Pussycat Girls.
Kimberly
Pussycat
Wyatt,
Dolls.
and I only know that because when I was at uni, she went off and she featured on some song which I think it was Candy. It was called Candy, and I think Andros Santos or something. If you heard it now, fuck me, it has not aged well.
It's not. No, a lot of them sort of songs when we were at uni that they used to play in the clubs a lot have not aged well.
I mean,
Pitbull, Mr. 305.
Oh, fucking Pitbull,
Mr. Worldwide.
Do you know, even 5-6 years ago, the radio was on and they played a JLS song. This song come on. I thought, fucking hell, this isn't even that long ago, and this sounds like it's from 20 years ago. And they played it on Radio 1 and they went, yeah, that hasn't aged well, has it? And that was then. God knows what it sounds like now.
Terrible.
But I mean, it's not. You don't listen to it.
I don't know who the target market for this song was. The video is obviously blamed at teenage lads and nobody else.
They're not going to be buying it though, are they?
No, because they'll be. I don't know what's that lunatic you're going watching next week.
Poppy.
Yeah, they'll be into that maybe. Or what do kids like?
I don't know.
We're definitely not down with the kids.
Ask Prince Andrew.
Nonce.
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe we should have a non-swatch segment.
Who's the nonce this week?
Yeah, this week on non-swatch. Yeah, we'll get to that maybe. Yeah, I don't really know who kids. I don't know what was that other one we did. Doja Cat. Kids would be into that, and Nicki Minaj and.
But even that, are we that much older that we now get that wrong? What we'd assume kids would be into? You know, when you hear like a
I don't know. I feel like tits and ass are pretty universally appreciated.
That's very true. I mean, but are we? If we're going to see that, are we just looking at that purely for that? Because we're not listening to the music. No one listens to the music.
The music was terrible.
Who's turning around and saying the Pussycat? Like, they're great artists.
So auto-tuned and
yeah,
it hurt to listen to this song. It is trending on YouTube. It's a few days after it's come out.
Yeah.
About 10 million views, I think it's
Have they got a new album or is it just a single?
This is a single, but generally when they release a single, there's a new album in the works. Isn't there?
You know when they trawl out the Spice Girls and stuff like that, it is purely nostalgia from people. Like,
yeah,
how long ago was it?
Nostalgia market.
15? No, it's more than that. Probably. No.
What, for Spice Girls?
No. Pussycat Dolls, like Don't Ya.
Oh, that's their other song. Yeah, I couldn't think of a single one.
I was working in the kitchen at the time, so that was 2005.
15 years ago, then.
I don't even think that was. I think it came out before that as well. So I just remember it being. No, it was around 2005, I think. It being constantly on the radio. But I always remember thinking how weird it was that it was just Nicole Scherzinger, who I've always thought, like, I can always acknowledge that she's beautiful, but I've never fancied her.
No,
I don't know what it is. I mean, I can fully get that she looks great.
Yeah, but she's not.
But I don't fancy her. Why do I not fancy her?
I think it's
maybe
there's a definition between attractiveness. There's a difference between attractiveness and beauty. I think. I think there's about some, like runway models. They're objectively beautiful, but they're not attractive.
Yeah, well, there is that thing, isn't it? That
symmetry.
Apparently, that we look for, like, as a heterosexual man.
Yes.
we'd look at women in two ways. We look at someone who was hot, someone that you just want to sleep with, and then somebody who was
biologically,
like someone that you'd found beautiful.
Yeah.
Someone that you could actually be with, and then someone you just want to sleep with.
Yeah.
And there's two very different people. But I don't get that either with Nicole Scherzinger, and I don't know why.
Too plastic. Miles to plastic.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of the North and Mouth podcast. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to head over to our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram feed, you can see all the stuff that we're up to. Not that much, it's just talking and shit.